So to create your backyard biodiversity map, you're going to start by drawing an aerial view or a bird's eye view, as if you were up in the sky looking straight down into your backyard. What would it look like? And I'm going to show you an example of how I created mine. Okay, so to create my backyard biodiversity map, I first started by adding some landmarks. So the first features I added to my blank page were my home. So this is an aerial view or a bird's eye view of my house, with a little path running along the back side. And then I also added these lines here. This is a creek that runs through my backyard. So once I had those landmarks, then I could start adding trees. And the way I added trees was by adding circles. And the big circles represent the larger trees, and the smaller circles are smaller trees. And I started actually with these green circles. So I first added with a pencil this circle here, and this is the tree that my branch came from. Then once I identified it, then I colored it in green to represent the white fir tree. And you can see I created a key here so that all of the green circles show white fir trees. Once I knew this was a white fir, then I started walking around my yard and looking at all the different trees. And I added this one once I knew that was a white fir. Then these I sort of skipped. I didn't add those quite yet. And then I added this one and colored those green, again because those are all white fir. So I have 4 white fir trees in my backyard. After that, I decided I wanted to go a little further and find out what the other trees were in my backyard. So I started with this great big tree. I added that circle there. And then I used the tree key and identified it and found out it was a Jeffrey pine. Once I knew that one was a Jeffrey pine, then I started walking around and I found several other Jeffrey pines, some smaller ones here, and then some medium size and smaller ones there. I added those circles and then colored those in orange and added that to my key. And then I continued. Then I wanted to know what these 3 trees were. I knew they were all the same. I marked those circles down, and then I used my tree key and found out that those were cedar trees. So I colored those in blue. They're incense cedars. And then I had this other tree that was really different, or sort of different from my other trees. And when I counted the needles, I found that they were in bundles of 5 and had really large pine cones, and realized that I have a sugar pine tree living in my backyard as well. So I colored that one in purple. So I only have 1 of those. So that's a example of how you can create your own backyard biodiversity map. Start with 1 species, and then you can always add more as you learn more.